Well, this is a surprise.
I
It's
know.
a pleasant surprise, quite frankly.
I'm pretty darn impressed. We have a Maribel Macias.
She's got that fancy title.
She's got that super fancy title from SISD. And she's going to answer some questions from us. Good morning, Maribel.
Good morning. How can I help you?
Well, my first question is, how do you fit your title on a card? Oh, my
Hey,
gosh.
let me tell you. That means that it's pretty neat.
It's like you have to give them two cards, right?
I do.
Assistant Superintendent for Administrative Services.
It's printed front and back.
And then the other side says, aye, aye.
Hey, you beat me to it. That's what I was going to say.
Well, thank you so much for calling us back. You know, we've been discussing this alleged hazing incident that happened over the weekend.
Right.
Yes, sir.
With the Montwood baseball team, and we've got a couple of questions about the policy and the procedure.
Okay,
Of course.
so I'm pretty sure you're going to tell us that you can't speak directly to this particular investigation, but what we really want to know is for any hazing investigation, what is the protocol that you guys follow? Because you said it was going to take like 3 days to do the investigation.
Correct. And actually, we started from the time that I received a call. I received a call about 11:15 or so Friday night. And that's part of our protocol. Whenever there's any type of safety situation, they automatically call administration. Administration contacts me. And then it's a team effort. We get together. We make sure that we start the investigation right then because it's important. It's student safety. So from there, we started our investigation Friday night, and it went on till Saturday. Once we found that it was a possible threat to student safety, what we did is we contacted authorities. Again, we want to do a thorough investigation. And we did. We contacted our Tricia authorities, contacted parents, talked to students, got statements. So that's where our investigation started. Once they come back, then we start with our administrative investigation. So our principal was involved, assistant principals, again, meeting with the students, parents. And at this point, we've met with each and every one of them. And what we do is, based on each individual fact, every single student is different. We gather the information, and then we use a student code of conduct to be able to render how we're going to support. And mainly the thing is that we have to teach. That's the biggest thing. Whenever we have our student code of conduct, we want to teach them what's not acceptable and how we move forward from it.
Okay, so you got that PBIS system that's in place, right?
Yeah. Is that what you're referring to when you say you want to teach?
Correct. And that's, again, we're educators. That's something we always do. That's a positive behavior support system that we have. That's kind of like the underlining crutch of how we have the progressive discipline. But what we use is our student code of conduct. That gives us the nuts and bolts of this is the data that we received, therefore this is the infraction, and therefore this is the discipline that we render.
Okay, so let's say in a hazing investigation, you guys discover that hazing did indeed take place, and so now you've moved past the investigation protocol and you're into the consequences protocol. What are the kind of charges, for lack of a better word, will these kids be facing?
Correct. And based on our student code of conduct, we actually have hazing actually listed there, and it's a level 3 discretionary. So based on that, what we do is, again, it's that progressive discipline. Every single student, depending on the information we've gathered, we have protocol, for example, in school, out of school suspension, DAEP, which is our keys placement. Those are all the things that we look at depending on the information we gather for each student.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
is it possible that if any of these students are seniors, that they would not be allowed to graduate?
Graduation, that's very different. Graduation is based on have they passed all of their state assessments, have they gained all of their credit. Mm-hmm. Are you talking about diploma or...
Will they be able to walk during the ceremony?
And that's something, again, that we have in place depending on each situation, and that's something that will be discussed with each individual parent and student.
Oh, so it's possible that, let's say, in this incident, if there were 7 people involved, that 3 would not be able to walk, but the others would.
Depending on the situation or the data that we gather. It is very serious. So we want to make sure that everybody understands. I know this is one of those paradigm shifts, is that, hazing at times, maybe when you and I were back there playing ball, it's part of life.
Right.
No, it's not. It's something very serious, and we want to make sure that our students are not making these mistakes, because obviously in hazing, somebody is either humiliated or either hurt or ridiculed, and that's something that we do not have any room to be lenient on.
Yeah. Now, in this specific situation, the parents that, according to the news reports, took their kids back before the police reports could be filed. Are they also, have you spoken to them as well? They have cooperated with your investigation?
Yes, they fully cooperated. Everybody has.
Okay.
And that's kudos to our community. Everybody knows that it's in the best interest of students, and that student safety is our number one priority.
Okay,
so it doesn't matter that according to the news reports, the 4 sophomores don't want to press any charges or don't want this to go any further. Does that come into play at all?
That's on the legal part of it, which is police department. That's their realm. We're talking about administrative realm, or that's the information that I'm sharing with you. That's something completely separate. That's the second fold, and that's why we always contact authorities, because we want to make sure that the investigation is thorough.
Okay, so is it just the Artesia Police Department that's investigating this, or have the El Paso Police been also brought into this?
At this time, it is Artesia Police. In time, again, parents might change their mind at any point in time, and then that's where our SISD PD and Artesia will be there to support. And that's the beauty of our system, is that they always collaborate with each other. All of our first responders do.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Good. It's good to know.
Yeah.
It's good to know. Maybe, Tricia's so jaded, most of the time. She always thinks that there's a cover-up in place.
That's funny. Well, thank you for giving us the opportunity to hopefully shed light and truly appreciate everybody in supporting us. And again, it is a hard topic because oftentimes, like I said, we grew up with it,
right?
But there is no room for it because people have been hurt.
Yeah,
and
back in the day, we considered it a rite of passage.
Yeah, exactly. You always heard about the paddle with the holes drilled in it,
was like,
and all that stuff.
That's how it happens. Now, when you finally do reach a conclusion, will you be putting out a press release, or how will the public know how it all shook out?
And again, and what we do is we always deal with our parents that are involved, and again, it is our students, so we deal with them. You all are more than welcome to call us at any time. Our open door policy, you got my name, you got my huge title. So
yes,
you have to be able to find me. And
all we have to do is look for the title.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we just look for the biggest door.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
With my biggest head going in the door. I'm with you.
Okay,
So
we'll take you up
anytime.
on it.
Yeah.
We'll
Please.
follow up with you later this week then. Thank you so much.
I got to tell you, I'm so impressed that you guys called us. Thank you so much for doing that.
Anytime. It's an opportunity to teach. And that's what we're here for.
Yes,
Have a
that's
good one.
that whole PIB thing.
Yeah.
It's a teaching moment.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank
Maribel.
you.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Wow.
Impressive.
I'm
right?
pretty darn impressed.
I totally expected them to duck.
I did too. I even sent her a very detailed email, and I was expecting the whole, we can't talk about this.
Right.
Hey.
Kudos.
Good for them.
Well, now we got to follow up later this week and see what happened, because
Yes.
it sounded to me like that was like,
Well, they said it's going to take 3 days.
No, she said they already started Friday.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Okay.
So they'll know by Wednesday
Yeah.
whatever shook up. And so I guess it's like, well, we cover this with the kids and their parents, but
Right.
if
But
you want to
here's-
know, call me later.
Yeah.
We'll
Perfect.
see what happens. Okay.